Hello YouTubers and fellow Whovians, and welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. For today's review I shall be taking a look at some older figures, and it is of the Caves of Androzani set, which was first released back at Forbidden Planet in 2011. So first off I'm going to show you the packaging, which should be on the screen right now. Now obviously I still don't have the packaging for these figures because unlike some collectors, I'm not one to keep the packaging. But for what I remember, it was very nice packaging. We had the old classic series Doctor Who logo there, and we had a lot of motifs from all the different title sequences throughout the show's history. So this set comprises of two figures, as you can see. We've got another variant of Peri Brown, and we have the villain of the Fifth Doctor's final story, Sharaz Jek. So let's start off with Peri. So, as action figure collectors for Doctor Who will be fully aware, this is one of the now 4 variants of Peri that has been released. The first one was the Vengeance of Varos. I believe this was the second version, and we also had an Attack of the Cybermen version, and more recently we now have a Two Doctors version. So Peri is quite a popular companion in the line. As some of you will be aware, she was actually the first companion, if you don't count K9, from the classic series to be released in figure form. Now, this isn't an entire repaint or anything like that. There are a few properties to this action figure which make this stand out from other variants of Peri. For instance, she's wearing a blouse with all of the checkered pattern. You've got like a cream colour and patterns of white, light blue, darker blue squares going all the way around. And I think it's a nice sculpt. Got all the creases all over the blouse obviously. And underneath you can just see part of the top, and the blouse has been tied up there. They've sculpted like a, just to give the impression that her blouse is tied up. I think it's very well. As far as I'm aware, the legs are the same sculpt as what we've originally seen on the Varos version, because she's still wearing her heels, and her heels have just been painted in a really plain colour. There's no wash of dirt anywhere to give off the impression that she's been running around on Androzani Minor or anything like that. The legs, obviously, they're just exactly the same as before, and the shorts are the same as before. The little keyring has been painted over here. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but yeah, on other figures you can see the keyring that's been painted on, things like that. They've just painted over this because of cost reasons. It's quite good that they're just reusing the sculpt. It's good for them basically. It costs less money for them, and it probably will cost less money for us to get these figures. The other notable thing about this version of Peri is that the head sculpt isn't exactly the same. If we take a look, her head looks more like how she looked in the Caves of Androzani, but I believe some people have complained about the hair because you can see like the plug, part of the plug just here for where the hair is meant to plug into the head, and I've seen like a few people have had this in the past, which is a real shame. But looking at the face sculpt, it looks just like Nicola Bryant. I think it's an excellent likeness to her, and I think the hair sculpt is also very nice. They didn't really need to go to the lengths to make this, so I'm actually quite pleased that they did this. So in essence, what we have is another head sculpt for a companion, which is something which is quite rare when it comes to those sort of figures. We take a look at the articulation. The head can easily do a 360-degree turn. The arms can move all the way around. There's 360 joints at the biceps. Elbows can move back and forth. Wrists can do a 360-degree turn. The waist can move 360 degrees. The legs can move back and forth. There are swivel joints at the knees and obviously nothing at the ankles, which I'm quite glad about, to be honest, seeing as this is an action figure who is wearing heels. So if she had that in the ankles, she probably would be falling over quite a lot. For what it's worth, I think Peri is quite a good figure. So moving on to the next figure, who may be the highlight of this set, seeing as this is the only time he has been released so far. It is Sharaz Jek, who is the villain of the Caves of Androzani, the final villain who the Fifth Doctor faced before he regenerated. And I've got to say, it as plain as it looks, I think that this totally works as an action figure. As far as detail goes, there's not much to talk about. It's just wearing a black suit. Obviously, you've got a few folds here and there. You've got creases all around it. You've got the belt at the back. Not removable or anything like that. But it has been like sculpted on. So don't try and removing that because you might end up breaking the figure. And yeah, he's just wearing a black suit and black shoes. It's just all the way down the figure. He's showing one hand though, and the hand has been sculpted. It just looks like a normal hand, to be honest. Although, don't know, it kind of looks disfigured. I think to the average viewer, you can't really tell. If you just look at the face, I think that it is a really good likeness to what we saw on TV. His left eye looks a little bit weird, but a few people have said that. But I think that the right eye and the mouth look really good, and obviously you've got that iconic pattern of the white and black going around his face. Kind of looks like a yin-yang, but it's really nice. And you've got the sculpt of the stitching there for his mask, and obviously at the back you can see more of this just at the centre there, and I think it makes for a really good figure. Now, if for some reason you don't like this, you don't like that how he looks, then you can swap the head, because this figure does have swappable heads. And this is the other head, and it's basically Sharaz Jek without the mask. And I think it looks like how he did at the end of the story for the brief amount of seconds that we saw it, when he was going like, "Hold me," you know, when he's dying. So I think it's good that Character Options did that, because you can recreate that scene. And another accessory which this set comes with, and this really is an accessory which you can't really do much with. It's just an android head. It's the head of one of the androids. It's very simple. You've got the wiring underneath here, and got a plain cream colour and a white circle there, and you've got grey at the back. Very simple. Can't recall if this is completely accurate, because it's been a while since I've seen the Caves of Androzani, and the androids are like a little part of the story. They're not like the main part of the story. So what it's worth, Sharaz Jek is a good figure. Now, going off articulation, this guy has quite a lot. So his head obviously can do 360, and as I mentioned, you can remove it if you wish to. The arms can do a 360, and they are ball jointed as well. The biceps have 360 once again. The elbows can move back and forth. Wrists can do a 360 degree turn. The legs can move back and forth and from side to side. There's 360 at the waist, and you can slightly move it back and forth as well. That's more of the legs really though. And there are joints at the knees which allow him to bend it back and forth. Nothing else to talk about in terms of articulation. That is all you are getting with this guy. So this guy is quite poseable as well. So I think that's quite interesting. So overall, very nice figure. Unsurprisingly, the Caves of Androzani is one of my favourite stories of all time. So naturally, when I first got these figures quite a number of years ago now, I was very pleased to get them. I think it is a great addition to the line. We've got another great addition of Peri Brown, and it's not just a simple repaint either, as I think the retooled head, albeit with the misgivings with the plug, is very nice. And I think the addition of Sharaz Jek is just really good. Sharaz Jek is one of the best one-time villains. He's up there with the likes of other one-time villains who appeared, such as Sutek the Destroyer. So yeah, if you missed out on this set, then I would highly recommend that you get it. And I wish you luck if you want to get it, because I'm pretty sure that by now it is very expensive and it is quite a rare find. Stay tuned for more coming to the channel, and for now, cheerio.